Hello everyone, my name is Bubblezest and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. In today's video, this will be a guide to the Greek achievements. This is Madness, and Istanbul is Constantinople, as well as I captured both sides of the Bosphorus and all I got is this lousy achievement. To start, the first thing you must do is arrest the king, as that means he can't rig the election. Next, we'll devalue the drachma. Obviously for research, do the standard industry and electronics to start, nothing too special needed. Just build more military factories, that should do pretty well for the rest of the game. Build convoys. Make sure you have a production line for support equipment queued up, that will work out very well. For the army, change them all to this template and put them on the Turkish border and exercise them. We'll need at least 15 XP before they stop. For the Navy, all they need to do for the rest of this game is be merged together and be put on strike force in these two sea zones. At this point, you can pretty much leave them. For the Air Force, well, just put them under the Field Marshal in general, and they should be fine. Now let's go to speed 5, and let's begin. Right, we've devalued the drachma, and now we're going to utilise our strengths. Right, we've utilised our strengths, now we're going to open foreign subsidised factories. Before this focus is done, make sure you improve relations with Germany, the Soviet Union, France and UK, so you actually get the most bonuses you can from it. As you can get 4 military factories and 4 civilian factories out of it. Definitely worth doing. Right, we've opened foreign subsidised factories, and now of course we're going to export more luxury commodities. Make sure you stop improving relations with the countries you're improving at. You don't need the relations improving at this point now. With the factories we've gotten, we're going to put 2 into support equipment, 2 into artillery, and the rest into guns. For now, just save your political power. It's worth it in the long run to save it rather than use it immediately. We're sending an attaché to Spain to grind XP, but also for a war support buff. There is a real chance that Venecilios here can die and drop your war support below the requirement for limited conscription. So as an insurance policy, we've sent our attaché there. We've also exported more luxury commodities. So now we have the choice whether or not to expand our tobacco industry or mining. For this game, which will be rather a short one, we're going to increase our mining operations for the extra military factories. But the extra civilian factories of tobacco are definitely worth it for much longer games. Right, we've increased our mine operations done. We'll now just rush down from Bring Home the Exiled Republicans all the way down to Resurrecting the Megala idea. At this point, there's no reason to not just go all the way down immediately, so let's begin the Bring Home the Exiled Republicans path. Right, we have now compromised with the monarchists. Now is probably the time to hire some advisors to begin with. But to access for political power and factory output. The Resolute Social Democrat, again for more stability and political power, and also the Backroom Backstabber for more political power. Let's continue down the Anatolian Catastrophe route, and promote this general to Field Marshal. He's much better than this guy could be. And now we're gaining 1.7 political power a day, so this is definitely very good. It pays to save, so you can hire all of these at once. Make sure to research maintenance companies when you can, they're very useful for this sort of war we'll be fighting. And now for our actual template, it will simply just be an 8-1 again. When we can, we'll replace the engineers with maintenance companies, and we'll train up as many of those as we can. Around 24 will do ultimately for the wars we'll have to fight in this game. We've jumped up to partial mobilization as soon as we could. This is also useful because Mobilize the Economy will now give us war economy for nothing. If you weren't at partial mobilization at this point, it would give you that instead. But since we are partially mobilized, we'll get war economy. So it does pay to spend the extra political power in to going up to partial mobilization. We are now doing Athenian Thinkers, but we've now got the first of the EEE events. Unless you want to do a Byzantium run, what you should do for this is to not work with them at any point. You will lose some stability, but ultimately it's worth it, as that is required to make the Herculeon Convention actually work, so this anarchy is unbecoming of us. This is what I expected to happen. Venizelos has passed away earlier than expected, and now we have low war support again. Annoyingly, this now means we might need to demobilize our economy. Keep an eye on that. We have 120 odd days to find some extra war support. So we don't have to demobilize our economy, we're going to do the Birthplace of Democracy for the extra 25% war support. You would most games you'd hope Venizelos would die very late. This is unfortunate that he died at this time, but oh well, we'll just have to take it at this point. Doing the Birthplace of Democracy is a good way to get around having to demobilize, get more stability, more democratic support, and more importantly more war support, so it works out. It just means our war with Turkey will be delayed by around 70 days. We now have maintenance companies, so make sure you add them to your template. They'll do good there. And exercise any units you may have to level 3. Right, with our sidetrack in the Birthplace of Democracy done, we can continue down to the Anatolian refugees. And we have now more than enough war support, so it was worth it in this instance. But in most games, you should hope to try and get down to Anatolian refugees without doing the Birthplace of Democracy. It's an annoying sidetrack at the best of times. There we go, we now have our negotiations with the EEE. Do not do the coalitions with them. That's the requisite for Byzantium run, but for here we will not be doing Byzantium. We need to not work with them. So there we go, no deals with them. And now we'll be resurrecting the Megali idea. Additionally, we can now crush the fascists, which will give us more stability and even more war support. In an ideal game, you would hope to do this and not have to do Birthplace of Democracy, as this would give the war support you'd need. But oh well, still pays to do it here. That stability and war support come off very nicely. And for the Herculeon Convention, the only ones you need to really invite are Britain and France. You'll be going to war with Italy eventually if you continue this game, so no need to invite Italy here. Periodically during the convention you'll get these events to vote on mandates and ideas. For all of them, just vote aye, it doesn't matter, and they should all pass. And there you go, France now has a mandate in Kurdistan. Next up is the British Protectorate in Armenia, again, vote aye. And finally, the main attraction for us, the Megali idea itself. Of course we have to vote yes, as that's necessary for the achievement in any way. And there, success. The Megali idea has been reborn. Now we just need to wait for the focus to end, and now we can move on to actually attacking Turkey itself. Finally, we have resurrected the Megali idea, and immediately, of course, we're going to move on to the Gordian Knot. For our army now, we need to prepare to actually go to war with Turkey, so grab all but one division, put them on a spearhead to Istanbul. We're hoping that Turkey will bash their head against the front line, but we can encircle most of them here in Edirne, around here, and destroy them. Once this focus is done, the war will start, so make sure you're ready to go by the time you begin it. Right, the Gordian Knot has been done and the war has begun. France has abandoned their commitments, annoying, but that is possible. But luckily the UK has joined us, so France abandoning their commitments doesn't mean much. The war will still happen. And of course, now we'll move on to mobilizing the economy. As you can see, Romania has joined this war, but that's okay. Make sure you jump up to extensive conscription. The Allies will want to give you military access, but they also will want your military access. Don't give it to them. The AI is quite stupid, and giving them military access is asking for trouble. Turkey isn't bashing their head against our front lines, but that's okay, we can just burst through them anyway. Join the Allies if you want, but again, do it at your own risk. There we go, we have broken through, so make sure your troops continue to move to encircle. Like this unit here, and these few units here. These units are very weak right now. There you go. Close these encirclements when you can and continue on to Istanbul. There you go. Edirne is now encircled. You can close that pocket as well for a few more casualties. Now that this pocket has been closed, you should withdraw back to your original fallback line here in Alexandropolis. Railroad the troops back and Turkey will flood back in and we'll do it again. Mobilize the economy is done. At this point you can move on to any one focus you really want to do, but for now I'm going to do Rejuvenating Athens. Now Turkey has refilled up the pocket. Again, grab all but one unit, front line to Istanbul, and smash through. The Allies should be showing up now, but as long as we have more war score than them, we should be okay. There we go, we've done the pocket one more time. Turkey has lost 80,000 to us, so this should probably be the last time we should need to do it. Right, we've done one more pocket, and now as you can see, France has invaded from the south. So now is probably the time to start actually just rushing down Turkey's victory points, which is what we're going to do. Just need to break over the Bosphorus, which we should do. Only one unit here. Just have your units spread out and rush down the victory points now. Victory is pretty much assured, especially with the Allies helping you. Continue to encircle any units that you can, there's no harm in doing that. And there we go, Turkey has capitulated. Part of this peace deal is scripted. As you can see, we've been given what we deserve from the Herculeon Convention. If France had actually agreed to their obligations, they would also have this. But as you can see, they do not. It is important to satellite Turkey, as that is part of actually doing the focus to unlock Greater Greece. So that's what we're going to do. There we go. When we can, we'll try and see if we can satellite Kurdistan. And there you go, that's the peace deal. Now we can do this focus here, which actually unlocks Greater Greece. Now we have to defeat Romania. Well, not really. We've actually gotten one of the achievements already, and the other two will be done by the focus. But to defeat Romania is advisable. You may as well. So send all the units to Istanbul, soon to be renamed, and wait for these 6 units to train up. There we go, we've honoured our pledge, got some extra stability out of it too. For Greece's debt, at this point, it might not be a bad idea also to just restore our home to get rid of a lot of it. Or you could try and restructure it, which is also possible when that gets unlocked. And there you go, this focus is done, and now that finally means we can actually form Greater Greece itself. There we go. And that is all you need for the achievements. This is Madness, and Istanbul is Constantinople. As you can see, Constantinople, and we're now Hellas, Greater Greece. You know what, just to really do it, we're going to make Constantinople the capital, and Aristotle here, our Prime Minister. For this game now, all you need to do is land around here in Romania, grab this tile here, they'll bash their head around the front line, losing hundreds of thousands of manpower, then you can take Romania as an additional puppet. You can also prepare your defence against Italy, who will be coming against you in a year or so's time. You have a very interesting game ahead of you. As you can see, you have a lot of extra recruitable population. Dealing with Greece's debt should not be too hard. You should befriend the communists also. You can get this advisor here. But that is the end of this guide for these achievements. This has been me, Bubbles, totally not Bit of Steel Zest. Thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed, and goodbye!